That guy over there is Greg. I'm Danny. We are OGT and OGL custom creator OGT. And we Discord or no, I was wandering around the Patreon of a vocal coach named Elizabeth Sharoff, aka the Charismatic Voice, and I got into reaction channels because of a personal thing, death, and I had been in an accident, lost my throat, or lost my voice from a big hole in my throat from a wreck, and was just looking for a way to get a message across. So I started this channel was to get over disabilities and let my art shine again. Cause I put my guitar down, quit singing for 4 years. That was the hardest drug I ever lay down because it was my drug. And Elizabeth helped me to get that back. So I have a lot of respect for vocal coaches. And now here we are. We were born on the Charismatic Voice because Greg found me in those Patreon halls. Said, hey, come to Discord. I'm like, what the hell is that? And now we have our own Discord. We have our own channel. And I thank Kirk and Paolo and Elizabeth for that and the whole crew. I have a little snippet here of well, Greg, I'll let you introduce yourself. I'm sorry. I talk a lot.
All right.
To have a hole in my throat.
That's good. You're definitely the voice of the channel. But allow me to say I also was drawn to Elizabeth's channels at a very bad time in my life. I think what I've learned is that reaction channels can they give different things to different people. They can give people vindication that songs that they really like that maybe other people turn their nose up at really were good. They can allow people to rediscover just the joy of picking your favorite songs apart and thinking, oh man, why do I like this so much? What do I love about this singer or this song? Uh, Lolli Wren, the reactor slash singer that we're going to be reacting to, reactors reacting to reactors, little reactorception
Singing.
there. Yes, yeah, but she's one of those that is, very good at she's very charming, has a very unique personality, and is super knowledgeable. Very much like Elizabeth in that regard. Just, I believe she said, she has a degree in vocal performance, and she said she learned every rule so she could break them. I've heard a lot of musicians say, learn the rule book, then tear it up and throw it out the window.
Sounds like somebody I
Uh, but yeah, she teaches voice. She does reactions, and she also occasionally records her own stuff. She's got an album coming out later this year, I believe. So we're gonna be reacting to a song called "Hurt." You guys are probably aware of it. It was originally by Nine Inch Nails and Trent Reznor. It was covered by Johnny Cash, who pretty much made it his. I think that is the version that a lot of people remember.
Well, Trent gave it. Trent said,
Yes,
now it's Johnny's song.
now it's
So
no doubt. So yeah, when
that
the
was a
original
very
songwriter
personal song
says,
for Trent. So
yeah. It's a song that's got two very different takes. So I'm fascinated to see what someone as learned and someone as, let's say, quirky as Lolli. I'm interested in seeing her take on this classic song.
let's watch this little snippet first that I set up and Greg murdered it. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Greg. Um, and then I'll say a few words about Molly and we'll get started. This is for Lost Tate, by the way. He is also a patron to the Charismatic Voice and to Lolli Wren. I'm pretty sure. I know he's a sub, and yeah, that's we all
He's
met
been
through
such a
we
help
we
to us.
met through the warning though.
Yeah.
So and then I realized he was on the Charismatic Voice too because I'm loud as hell in the patron chats. And he's like, hey, that was you. I was like, yeah, it's me. Danny OGT. I identify as an obsessed Tool fan who reacts to music objectively, by the way. So anyway, that has to do with this blah. My mouth does that sometimes. Maybe it's my brain, but possibly both. So me and Greg just realized something that may be obvious. There are a lot of redheaded vocal coaches. Julian Ion is a vocal coach also. Elizabeth does what she calls tea time. She has famous people on and interviews them, and at a certain tier level of patron, you can ask questions, and I got my question in real quick when the tables were turned on Elizabeth and Julia was asking the questions. Because I had a burning question that I wanted to make public. So let's check it out.
Moving on to a question from Danny Logan. Easy, simple, quick question. Do you feel guilty doing tool reactions being married into the tool army?
I never feel guilty doing a tool reaction. I think it's very important that I listen to my husband and every now and then choose a song that he particularly would like. So, it's essential.
Yes, I imagine we'd have a rather grumpy Kirk if you went, no tool. I'm not reacting to any tool. He'd be like, but why? They're amazing.
Right, exactly. It wouldn't fly.
And they are. And they are amazing.
They are.
He's right.
Yeah.
All right, so that's good enough. So her husband is a huge member of the tool army, so that puts it in context. Cool. Always hit play there. So I guess we can get right into this, huh, Greg?
Let's check it out.
I wanted to say that I have watched several of your reactions as well, Miss Wren, and I enjoy them, especially some come to memory as a huge Alice in Chains fan as well. Love, hate, love. I love Pearl Jam before there was a Tool or Korn or Alice in Chains. Well, I guess there was an Alice in Chains, but before I went down the Lane Staley rabbit hole, I loved Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam, and the Black reaction, of course. I think you shed a few tears on that one. And you've done 2 Tool reactions, if I'm correct. You went from sober to the pot, so that's kind of going the wrong way there. That's the wrong way down the spiral, as Trent Reznor would say. So anyway, I thought that was a nice setup. Let's get into it. Why do we say that as reactors? What the hell are we getting into?
I guess we'll find out what we're getting into.
Because
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focused on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything.
all right, you know the deal. We have to pause this a lot. The her vibrato is amazing. It's very steady, and the use of breath is necessary, I think, to convey the emotion, which her eyes stick out there, but it's done beautifully. It's you can tell this is a personal thing, not just a cover for her, is what kind of like Johnny Cash did. So I've seen other reactors react to this. It's hitting hard already.
When she came in, her voice was really low. That was surprising. I mean, obviously she's got great range, as I'm used to, and I guess even her speaking voice, I guess, has got a bit of that huskiness to it. But she'll do these quick cutoffs too. I think that sort of it gives the idea of sort of a fragmented state of mind. That's trying to grab onto something. Video is it's very well shot. I think she did a version of this very, very early, like a real, DIY thing, but has since went back into an actual studio to re-record it. I think we're listening to that version, and it's very professionally done. She's also got a really striking look too. I think she looks like someone that would be teaching people eldritch magic in the woods somewhere. And hopefully she would take that as a compliment. But yeah, I'm liking what she's doing with it. It feels very hollow, very pained, um, unique, but definitely true to the roots of the song.
Serious, ethereal. I don't know. Yeah, it's yeah. I like dark. You need dark to have light. You need dark to understand light. In my humbled opinion, finding most of my solace in the dark, but seeing light afterwards. So, yeah.
Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything.
Oh shit.
What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all. My empire of dirt. For me to let you down. Oh, I will make you hurt.
I agree. I'll let you go versus. I mean, it's your turn. Sorry.
I've always thought that one of the hardest things to do if you're super well trained is to sort of there a lot of songs sound good with like a classically trained voice, but there are some songs, and this is definitely one of them, where you don't want to hear too much music school in the voice. You don't want to hear a pristine, well trained, thought out academic vocal performance. You want gut level raw emotion. She is doing a great job living up to what she says about learning every rule so she can break them. She's doing a lot of interesting things. She's creaking into some of the sound and the for onsets. She's doing these cries, which are really good for a pained and vulnerable sound. Even that really fast vibrato, I think it's called a bleating vibrato. This sort of adds this sort of it sounds very anxious and very vulnerable at the same time. All of these are great for conveying the message of the song, and the chorus is an interesting choice because she uses an almost her voice takes an almost childlike sound. So I guess maybe that's sort of going back to childhood memories or something like that, sort of a fractured innocence that she's conveying. It's a really interesting sound. And she's just using so many different placements and so many different techniques, but it doesn't sound like a collection of techniques strung together. It sounds like an honest, heartfelt vocal performance.
I'm gonna say it's. You see the voices in her head when she's driving. I know it looks like police lights. But I'm not sure that's what it means. Could be caution for that reason and give it duality, but I think the higher register. I think we're not vocal coaches, okay, but we've learned a lot, more than we knew, which is everything. But I think her higher register is her talking back to those voices, and that's why it took me a little bit. That's why it's dark and low, and during the verse, and then the chorus is more her yelling back at them. You can have it all then. So in that way, she's made the song even more unique to her than the other two ways. Connie was singing about his life. Trent was singing to his demons, kind of, but in a different type of way. Trent stayed in a dark register the whole time, I think, till the very end. I like the way she builds tension with her voice. The guy that sings for that band, I'm not gonna go crazy on that, but he's good at that. He's good at changing emotion with very little difference in his voice, and I think she's doing that well. Yeah, so. I know. Okay, I didn't want to go past. I didn't want to get to the climax.
Climax.
You right there too quick. I don't know how to say that really, but so I think now she's just talking to herself. There is no voices talking back and forth, and that's why maybe the red lights have went away. It's more just blue and white, and she's driving. Some people think about ending their self by driving really fast and picking these thoughts, which is again the lights could have something to do with that. And the walking slowly to the edge of a cliff is there's many songs about 6 feet from the edge and a creek or whatever. Yeah. I'm trying to think of bands to sing about that, but it's a definite representation of having those thoughts of an end or the end or ending it. You could say it either of the three. And I love that she didn't use shit or thorns, and she made again because in my subconscious I'm thinking, well, which one's she gonna say? She gonna say shit or thorns, you know? So that was beautiful in itself.
Another way she's making this her own. I also look at it's one, she's on a cliff. It's it's pretty, but it's desolate. It's over, and you can see like far, far away. There's lights from houses, so she's in a pretty space, but isolated. And then the other, it's like it's all dark, it's all shadow. She's inside this car, where I'm because of the lights, are guessing there may be someone else there, but she's maybe lost inside her head as well. I like sort of like the stark contrast between those. I like this new aspect to her voice that she introduced during this chorus, where she's putting more heft behind that higher register. Um, she just she strikes me as someone who's very scientific in her approach to voice, um, but has enough of that stored in her head to where she can sort of access it subconsciously without having to think about it. She's just able to um, sort of pick what tone is right for the song. I remember this is a weird analogy, but on the first UFC, I remember a guy walking down. They said he had 10 black belts, and I was like, that just sounds weird because it seems like if a guy throws a punch at you, your mind would be stuck between the 400 ways you know how to counter that. You end up getting plastered. So she's actually been able to sort of like store up all of this vocal technique, and in such a way where she can just pick the right one that she needs to do immediately and use it to enhance the song. So
I
much
got that
respect.
reference. You've
All right.
used way weirder ones. Um, I oh, I don't say much shit anymore. Sorry.
What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. So you can have it all. My empire of dirt, and I will let you down. I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself. I would find a way.
Hear that breath. There's that. I mean, you clear credits off. I thought it was her.
This is one of the beautiful things I think about music is you have a song that is covered by but it's created by one artist, covered by two, and each one of them has been able to make it mean something different. The original to me just sounds like someone, regardless of age or life experience, is just sort of sinking into um, just some sort of an abyss of their own making. Just sort of, the album is called The Downward Spiral. That sounds like them reaching the bottom. Johnny Cash's version is someone who is looking back on a long life full of
Reflection.
decisions and things, some of which he regrets, some of which he is, regretful that they're no longer there. It's it's so poignant, and I think Trent and Johnny both had very. This is not a bad thing. They have very basic deliveries. Johnny doesn't have to do anything vocally because he's got that amazing voice. Even at the end, he still had that amazing, distinctive voice. And the toll that the years had taken on it, only gave it more emotional resonance. Trent has this ability to evoke this sort of pain and darkness in his sound that just, without straining, without going nuts with technique or anything, just in his delivery and his sound, he's able to portray this person sort of sinking into this abyss. Lolli has got a much more advanced vocal approach here, but it's having the same effect. This to me sounds like someone who has hit a rock bottom point in their life, which is maybe she was pulled over by the cops for doing something that she regrets. She's sitting in there while the lights are going, maybe reflecting. That's what the scenes of her in that canyon, all that, pretty scenery and whatnot, so far away from the houses, so far away from home, from her origins, from her childhood, where she began, where she thought she might stay, and to where she ended up. And the way she used her voice to sort of reflect that journey. And I also, agree with your thing, sort of those voices inside her head that, she's conversing with, so trying to find an explanation or a reason or something like that is really compelling. I think she did an amazing job. Just the courage it took to take on a song like this that already has so much weight behind it and already has two, not just one, but two iconic versions. One of which is probably the most, one of the more iconic songs and videos ever, and she knocked it out of the park. Major props. And I've been going on for a while. What do you think, my friend?
I think the car and the mountainside, it was inside and outside your head when you're locked in your head. In the car with the trench coat on, or in the wind and open with the dress on, is when you can get out of there. And which goes against my original theory or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But and I love and the doubling. I meant to say her voice was doubled in the second chorus, and the last one, as you said, like she hadn't used all those super technical vocal techniques. But the last time at the end with the resolution, she showed a bunch of them. I can't think the right word, but a plethora of them, and the doubling was there and part of that, and then it dropped out. So yeah, that was a masterful performance of a song that, yeah, kind of like Casey Chambers doing "Lose Yourself." I mean, but most of those people don't know what they don't know. There might be musicians, but Lolli being in a position where, like we've learned, I'm a musician too, but I've learned a lot more about music than I thought I knew by being a reactor. So, yeah, props all the way around. Boss Tate, thank you. And I know
this was a great suggestion. Thank you,
heard,
State.
maybe not on the record, but I've heard that Elizabeth and Lolli have talked about, or maybe they'll collab one day. I don't know that to be official, but I think I've heard.
Quirky Redheads Unite. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I will. I'll be there for that. All right, mental health.
One more thing, real quick. Lolli flipping into her head voice for the "If I Could Start Again." That was a beautiful touch, because that's kind of like, bringing it back to that, innocent vibe, that freedom that you mentioned, that the canyon and whatnot, the hills represented. So yeah, it's just great storytelling vocally. So thank you, Lost Tate. This is a great suggestion. Lolli, you're a great reactor and an amazing singer.
Yeah, mental health is real. Out in North Carolina, we've had a lot of bullshit going on with flooding and relief efforts and such. So I'll leave it at that. And yeah, I love y'all. If you're looking for a sign to keep living, this is it. Take it. You gonna say you catch some praise there, bud? Take care of
yourself.
Take care of you.
Take care of others. And music is your best support group. Listen to it frequently.
Listen more Tool. Do another Tool reaction, Lolli. Much love. Well, shit, that wasn't stop. I guess this is a blooper.